Hi there, this is Tom Murphy, and I'm going to demonstrate how to add PowerShell scripts to action tiles within Quicklaunch. Um, I'm going to do two types of scripts. One isn't going to require any permissions. It'll pretty much run under any user, and that's this get screen resolution, which is just it'll display a little window that gets a screen resolution, but it shows how to wire a PowerShell script into Quicklaunch. The second one we're going to wire up is a little more complicated in that we want to change the user context that the script is running under. And that's not so straightforward because especially if you want to suppress messages to the user, it's not exactly the kind of behavior that Microsoft wants to see because it somewhat mimics a virus. It is possible when I run these scripts, you're going to see windows pop because I'm not sending them to null or redirecting the output. So you'll be able to see that something's going on. But if you wanted to customize these scripts to run in your room or on a PC that's running Quicklaunch, you could suppress all these messages. You could pass in the username and password, and nobody would know what was going on. So again, in order to accomplish this, it's a little more complex than just providing the credentials because the credentials for example, for creating registry keys, you can't specify a credential on here. You can't uh, get the credential and then pass it in as a parameter for a new item. They just don't allow it. So what we're going to do is we're going to execute a script in a batch file that gets the credential. The user will enter in the username and password. That credential will be used in this start process. It passes in the credential, and then we'll call create registry key, which is this script right here. There's another way to do this if you wanted it to be completely seamless and that the user wasn't required to do anything. There are examples. There's many of them out there on how to um, get a specific user and password, save it to an encrypted file on a disk, call that, use that file as your credential input, and that way you could run these totally under the covers, and nobody would know what was going on. They would just click the action tile in Quicklaunch, and then if you wanted to, you could pop up a window that said action complete. But for this demo, we're just going to show how to wire this all into Quicklaunch. So I've got a registry editor open here, and you can see that there isn't a Quicklaunch key. We've got these two batch files. Let's go into full screen mode. And I've already created the action tiles just for the sake of speeding along the demo. But we're going to edit them now. So you can see I've got the reg key name, you add the icon, change the color. The only thing we need to do is point to our batch file. So this is the reg key, so we're going to say run reg key batch, and we're going to click OK. And then we'll do the screen resolution one while we're in here. Get out of the editor. Okay, so a simple one, get screen res. It's just going to run a script, and you can see my screen resolutions been displayed in the window. Okay, we're going to go back to full screen mode. Now, to create the new reg key, we'll click this. This is going to call batch file. The batch file is going to execute a PowerShell script, and then that PowerShell script will prompt us for credentials. It will pass those credentials to a second PowerShell script that will be invoked using start process. You're going to see some windows pop up because, again, I haven't suppressed them, but you could do that by directing them to null. Okay, so we're going to run as local administrator. Hopefully I get the password correct. Okay, so it's finished, and we can go down into the registry key or the registry hive. We can refresh, and you can see QL PowerShell test and QL test data. If I go into the reg key, that's the value that we added. Okay, so that is wiring in PowerShell scripts to action tiles. Thank you very much.